this is a bit of a long video. It's like a podcast, family podcast, conversation. It's a conversation. It's a bit haphazard. I just recorded us all in the garden because I realised it was a special experience to have 4 generations in one place. And yeah, we had a conversation about the fact that Mum and Dad both got cancer recently. Dad just had radiotherapy. He had his last one just before a poetry event. And I recorded this conversation because it seemed like a rare thing and an interesting thing. And I know it's kind of weird sharing this. I think most of the things I do are quite weird, but hey, we were listening to Reggae in the Garden, gardening and painting, and we'd previously had a conversation which I've just overlaid the video of us in the garden, and everyone didn't mind, everyone's consensual, so yeah, it's my clan, this is my clan, and it just goes to show that everyone has a hard time, everyone, in some way, physically and with health in their life, especially as they get older. And recently I've just been learning about oldness, what it means, wisdom, degradation, acceptance, love. So yeah, these things have been on my mind. But yeah, if you're interested, there's some nice things covered in this conversation. Something I just wanted to put out there, mainly for other family members actually, if there's anyone out there. And there's a history log of our 4-generational conversation.
And I won't waffle any longer, but I won't waffle on any longer.
Are you saying that maybe you got on top of it because you did check it in time? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was raising money, and I thought, well, if I'm going to be raising money, I should get myself checked.
It's hypocritical if you don't get tested. They went and got tested.
And because Angus had snuffed it, and because Mike, my co-producer at the show, snuffed it, and Arthur snuffed it, I felt that, that is why.
You wait for it.
And that is part of the gig. I've written this poem.
And surely Mum.
What?
Surely Mum. Because you came.
Well, I went about something different.
Yeah.
I thought it was a woman's book, but I thought I had, hemorrhoids.
But surely Mum getting checked and having cancer made you inspired.
And
you.
as well. Yeah.
That as well.
Because
yes.
he went through the whole, and then realising that when we talked to you won't be amazed how many people you meet who are on different stages, and we met a lot of lovely people actually.
Yeah.
And everybody's very supportive. It's like a whole network, and there's always positivism. It's. But I mean, I had no idea. I went about something else, and when she examined me, she said, "I'm not so sure. You ought to have a test." So I had 3 scans. I had MRI, that horrible one, CT scan, and a CAT scan. In the end, they took a biopsy to take a test, and in the biopsy, they removed what they could. And really, by then, the radiotherapy and chemotherapy was the belt and braces. It was right. This is it. It has changed a lot, and what I would like to see is the National Health allowing everybody to have a test.
Definitely.
For other things,
just to even take it out of your mind, to stop you thinking about it.
They insist on people having maths and English GCSE.
Yeah, right.
But they weren't
Surely that's way
tested
more
for.
expensive.
Yeah.
So you've had 3 cancerous cell protection centres in different areas of the body, and then each one's been zapped. And then are they zapped according to size? Is it a standard dose? Is it
It was his prostate.
And how do you know if for each one that it's been effectively?
Because the others
My prostate produces a particular chemical that promotes cancerous cells. It produces testosterone, and testosterone is inclined to produce these growths elsewhere. In my spine and my hips, they are so small, but they're only fed by
the testosterone.
By prostaglandins or something. And if you get rid of your the cancerous cells in the prostate, they won't produce any more anywhere else.
So the tiny bit he's got, his own immune system now, they will just dissipate.
So all of the radiation has been on the prostate,
Yeah.
Yes.
not on the other areas.
No,
Where it's
no,
been.
no.
Uh-huh.
Have they made you one of those weird plastic mesh things to hold you still?
Uh,
I had
they-
one.
they
I
put
had
me-
one.
they put
Moulded
me
it
into-
round me.
Yes.
So the hip and the spine is a product
They're
of the
lesions.
prostate.
Yes.
They were lesions,
They are only minute lesions.
and they were. And
How are they connected?
It's so weird the way that works, because that's what happened with my friend, but
What?
with testicular cancer. He had a testicular cancer, and he had one of his balls removed, but by the time it had happened, his balls had sent it to his lymph nodes.
When
So
you
if
say
you-
He
sent-
ended up.
Yeah, it
he's
travels
actually
through the
now, which
system,
is
goes through the
amazing.
system.
Lymphatic.
yeah, but
into the bloodstream.
that would suggest that there's particulates that transport from one A to
Testosterone.
B.
Will
Or
feed those
Trans-
cancers.
Yeah, it's hormonal.
so in the blood is in the flow of the blood,
Yes.
particulates as they're taken into the circulatory system
Yes.
find little niches like in
Yes.
a river, like
Yes.
little bits where they can just kind of accumulate,
Yeah.
bit like gold.
Yeah.
So maybe they're more dense cells than blood fractionally or something, or it allows it for it to then get lodged.
And
Well, it's
And
their
then
sort
that
of
repeats and they get
DNA,
trapped.
and they have a different DNA to the natural cells. The rest of the body, and why I now feel a little bit rough,
Uh-huh.
is that the cells have been killed, but so have, and they will not grow back, but the cells that around them
Uh-huh.
have natural healthy cells will take a bit of time to regrow. And it'll be all back to
But it's much more prolific in males now, not because it's a new trend. It's because the longevity of males and females. You know, in the past, every bloke apparently, I've read
After
the
the
article.
age of 75,
Every bloke has a cancer in them.
Well, every human,
Yeah,
all humans die
but
of
the
cancer.
fact is
Yeah,
that
it's just earlier.
when the average age of a
Yes.
bloke might have been, he would have died in much earlier, and when he
Yeah.
died, he might have had the cancer in it, but it would have been by some other reason he died. So it would be heart attack
Yeah.
or other
'Cause
things. So
cancer
now
is
they're
just
aware.
your body forgetting how to kill your cells. It's that particular cell forgets how to
Yeah.
do apoptosis, so, like normal cell death. So as you age, you run out of your stem cell count slowly decreases, and your cells just forget how to start regenerating themselves normally. And instead of regenerating normally, they over regenerate and they don't kill themselves.
Yeah, that's why
if you
prostate has
think of a photocopier, this is another analogy, that if you take a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, which is basically each cell is being duplicated,
Yeah, that
And-
makes sense, because they
and-
slowly get more and more chunky.
they get slightly, just
Fuzzy, yeah.
mildly wrong until some aberration occurs. This is why skin looks as if you're aging, because it's not producing the same skin cells as you were when you were a fresh
I keep trying to tell my
15,
face
16,
to make it
20-year-old. And yet,
It's a
what
lie.
is weird is that if you have a scar, and I've got a little scar, and I've often
Yeah,
on
they
my
stay
thumb,
really beautiful and shiny and soft and.
the scar. Why does the scar tissue reproduce itself?
That is weird. I
As
have
in-
wondered this a lot with scar tissue.
As scarred.
A scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body cells.
It's programming.
Uh,
It's a programming thing.
I guess it's the simplest possible skin cell, isn't it?
It's the path of least
it's the skin
resistance
cells
Yeah.
without
Maintain.
any pores, without any
Yes.
hair follicles, without any of the usual stuff.
You would need
And that's why they burn really easily.
you'd need conception to
As
be
well,
happening
it's like-
permanently for you to restore yourself.
You would
You'd need to be triggering yourselves to think that they
undifferentiated-
were just being ignited
need
from
to.
the
You would,
start.
you would need to keep producing undifferentiated stem cells through your life, but you
Yes.
do not.
Exactly.
We
that.
we keep making differentiated stem cells pretty much forever.
Speaking
Yes.
of this,
But
actually,
you run out of your undifferentiated ones after a certain age.
do you know where you can get this? Everyone's talking about getting beef tallow.
Yeah, you go to the butcher, you get a load of beef
And
fat, and
because it's meant to be
you
utterly restoring for the skin on a purely organically amazing natural level.
Because of the nature.
And it's meant to be
you
an
have to get it
epic
fresh.
for psoriasis.
Oh, really?
Because
It is, yeah.
Oh.
the reason why I'm asking all these questions is because I'm obviously going to get checked myself. I'm 45 and want to do that. And they've told me I need to put a blood test in. I actually got a text the other day from NHS saying, please.
They are now trying to insist on.
Yeah, we do it at
anybody
home.
45.
Yeah. So then I thought, I wonder if there was a link with your cancer and psoriasis. So then I was wondering about that, and I don't think there is necessarily. Maybe with arthritis there is a link.
Except what was very, very, very
it's
weird
inflammation.
during my chemotherapy and radiotherapy, because it kills all the cells. You're so
the
immune.
psoriasis better.
You're open for sepsis and all sorts of things. All my psoriasis disappeared.
Chemo
I guess your
sort
body was
psoriasis.
just like,
Yeah,
okay,
I-
I'll
yeah,
stop trying to overheat.
Well, that says it because they say the sunshine. They say
Yes.
sunshine does really work.
It
Yeah, it
just
does.
disappeared
It's the
from
same
my
with
arms
acne.
and everything.
It kills
And
acne.
sodding stuff now come back, of course. Now.
Yeah, sunshine on psoriasis is the solver.
Yeah,
if I
it
go
is.
away for 3
And
weeks
salt
and
water.
on the
Yeah.
beach, a beach holiday would fix
Yeah.
pretty much anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You are 75, born in 1950.
Oh, no, I'm only
Four.
74.
God, so embarrassing. I thought you were born in 50.
Yeah,
Mum is-
51.
Mum is born in.
I'm
Oh,
50.
Oh, I've got that wrong my entire life, you know. I just assumed
He's
you
only
were
a
both
month.
born in the
He's
same
my
year.
toy boy.
Well,
I'm a month older
I'm
than-
6 weeks younger than Mum.
Okay, that's okay.
On the border between 50 and 51.
And you got diagnosed this year.
This year, in the end of, was it the end of September? No, you were given the all clear, and I was given the end of October.
Okay. That's quite recent. And now you're at the end of a thing, and then after this you'll be assessed for 5
I'm
years.
then carrying on. There are 3 things that I have. I have a month. It was a monthly. Now it's going to be a 3 monthly injection, which stops testosterone.
You're gonna have that. You are still to have
I've been
that.
having
You've had that.
monthly ones,
Uh-huh.
and also taking. And I still don't quite understand what the 2 meds are doing. One is I'm taking tablets every day, 160 milligrams of substance called exalamide, and which is called Xtandi. Its pharmaceutical name is Xtandi. Its chemical name is enzolamide. I will give you the right name. I've got it upstairs.
No worries.
Which has an effect of making me slightly fluffy-brained,
Mhm.
and does it make me depressed?
No.
Forgetful?
You have been a bit under weather, makes you a bit more emotional. Short-tempered, definitely. You're on a short straw, but you know that, and you were told that this could happen. But it's manageable. If you know what's going on and you know when the signs are, you can just say, right, okay, I'm feeling this because,
Basically, it creates
and have
in
a cup of
me
tea.
a male menopause.
Oh, that's so interesting.
What is it saying? He gets hot flushes.
A menopause or an
He gets
andropause.
hot flushes.
I get hot flushes.
Yeah.
I get these sort of, I call them volcanoes. They erupt from my toes. They go up, and they come out and they prickle my head, and then I don't swear it. It's just.
So interesting. I guess it would be the male version of a
Do you want to go
galloping
on?
menopause.
Kitty cat, or do you want food?
You want food?
My granny
I
had a hysterectomy when she was in her 30s.
Yes.
And she had what they call a galloping menopause, where she had all of the symptoms from menopause in very, very, very short period of time, very intensely, while she was a nurse. So she was just like hot flushes, angry, just crying, sad, doing all
Have
the
you
same-
have you had a menopause?
Oh, mama, pause.
You did the menopause.
Yes,
But
I've done
you
that.
didn't have it very significantly.
I had it quite late because obviously I had the kids all quite late, and
Hello.
What's the matter? Yeah, I suffered, but I was teaching, and I found the hot flushes just too much. I did have HRT for a while,
Yes.
but that does weird things. HRT, and then it just passed. It just went, and then it was over. I didn't even think about it.
And what inspired me to press record was the thing that you said just before I pressed record, which is classic with recording things. Do you mind taking your mind back to the beginning of this conversation, just at the end of this recording, and bring it full circle to what you were saying that people should do about? It was just regarding your story and where you're at, and with your diagnosis, because you had a bowel cancer, and you.
It was actually
Anal
cancer. It's not the
Low
same.
down, it's low down, which is why I didn't have to have radiation any more than in this area. It's amazing, the machine. It's like the laser. They can go that you have to lay in exactly the same position, and it zaps that one point only. Zap.
So then, when it started, the radiation was sort of
Everywhere.
you know,
Yeah.
So you ended up with Hiroshima. You had a Hiroshima effect, because it was sort of somewhere in your bowel, and it ended up you had to have
The radio.
stoma bags and
But the radiotherapy is actually itself painless. It's the after effects that are the worst. The worst is the chemo.
Could you say,
It was the chemo I didn't like.
the chemo you didn't like?
The chemo's the one that would, if you're going to lose your hair, if you're going to have all those effects, that's the chemotherapy. I was lucky because mine was a short. I did mine by tablets. I only had one big fat injection. The rest were tablets. I had to take every single day, and nobody could touch the tablets. They were that dangerous.
Whoa.
Yeah.
because by touching you could absorb the poisons into your system.
Yeah. Whoops. But I didn't have any hair loss, and I didn't have any nausea really, did I?
No.
So ultimately, what I'm getting from this entire quite amazing, is it amazing or is it that?
I think it's pretty amazing. I think pretty good.
Yeah, it feels
and
amazing.
maybe aware of other people, and I tell other people.
But you've both had cancer, you've both been treated, and currently it's not like I'm not saying whoopee-doo, go, but essentially
Yes,
the treatment is effective.
Yeah.
In this setting.
Yeah.
It's a positive thing.
It is a positive.
And you were saying it's important to get checked, and
I would advise anyway. I've said to other people, just go and have your check. Have your smear test. Have your wound test. Have your prostate test. So.
And unfortunately, years ago, the big C was a dirty word. And you would have to whisper, he's got cancer. Whereas now, just get your prostate checked over, don't want to have the cancer.